Welcome back to the studio. Today I want to talk to you about the joy and the pleasure of experimentation, the importance of experimentation. This week, earlier in the week, I started just an evening course, a simple kind of adult education evening course in sound art. And it's to do with gallery installation or sound sculptures. To be honest with you, when I was on the way there, people were asking me, oh, what are you going to study and why? I struggled to explain the what a little bit because I kind of had an idea in my head. And in terms of the why, it's just I fancied doing it, right? I've got a long-standing interest in sound. Many of you have noticed the guitar, which I still can't play. I've got 3 of them and I've had them for many years. It's actually oddly nearly in tune, isn't it? But this is literally the extent of my guitar playing, really. And then, well, actually more often what I do is I just plug it in and just noodle. That's horrible, isn't it? But the point is I like sound. I've made radio shows in the past. I've tried to do kind of bits of field recording, but anyway, I enjoy it. Primarily, I'm a writer and a filmmaker. So the sound is kind of like an extra thing. But in terms of being experimental with it, I never really got very far. And when I wanted to study something to kind of broaden my horizons a little bit, kind of break me out of my comfort zone slightly, I remembered that actually probably the best course I've ever done was an experimental music course, an experimental sound course I did years ago at the Mary Ward Centre, and it was fantastic. I learned all sorts of things, like the way that you can take an old tape player and actually the tape heads in here, the thing that presses against the magnetic tape, can be used as a microphone. There you go, who knew? And it will collect electrostatic signals and you can amplify them and record it. It's great. I mean, that's just, and we did things like that. We took things apart and made microphones out of old headphones. Old headphones contain contact mics. So I went along to this course on Monday with very little in terms of expectation, really, because I think that's always a good way to go in with an open mind. And at the end of the class, which I really enjoyed, they mentioned a piece of software that we could use to edit audio. It wasn't prescriptive. It was just like, here's some options, use what you normally use. And so I normally actually use Premiere Pro, but that wasn't going to work because we were going to try and create binaural recordings and kind of pan the audio around the imaginary person. Interesting idea. So I started tinkering with one of the pieces of software that they recommended, and I tinkered a bit more and I tinkered a bit more. And in the end, actually, after not very long at all, I kind of ended up making a video. I created a piece of sound from a sine wave. Just from tinkering with it and just moving the sliders around. I didn't really know what to do. We hadn't been shown it in the class, so I kind of worked, Googled how do I make a tone with this piece of software called Reaper, and I created a tone, and then I started to play with the tone, move the hertz, just sliders, literally just sliding them. And I thought I'll record it. I'll press record. Had to look up how to record, and mucked around with it. And then I quite like this. It's interesting. Bearing in mind, it's just like a do tone. So, and then I interfered with it. So it's quite, it's not a melodic composition is what I'm trying to say. And then I started to see landscapes. And I thought, oh, I've got footage of these landscapes I can imagine going with this sound. And I ended up overlaying footage, a shot of Orford Ness in Suffolk, which is an unbelievably uncanny, weird place. Orford Ness is an military experimental research place. Where they did lots of early atomic research there. There's little blast rooms there. They did a lot of stuff with flight, testing how airmen would behave in different ways at very early stuff. It's where they pioneered how to shoot a machine gun through the propellers of an aeroplane. They came up with that system. All those things happened at Orford. Interesting place, weird place on the Suffolk coast. And it was perfect for this piece of sound that I'd recorded. And so I ended up, did that over I spent basically a day really just mucking around with it one night, and then the next day is when I should be writing my book and I should be editing my next YouTube video for John Rogers Walks. I should be planning this video. And I just sat here now actually to do both those things, edit my next walk that I shot in Colchester, and also work on my book. I've got a couple weeks left now. And actually I ended up just watching this video that I made, and it just reminded me of how important it is to experiment, because you never really know. I've ended up here with something I never would have made before that class I did on Monday night. Never would have made something like this. You know, also what I've done with the footage, I slowed the footage down, I put a colour grade on, a LUT, I call it a LUT, a colour look over it, and added film noise in, did all sorts of things that I never just would have done it. I wouldn't have played around and experimented in the same way. And I've ended up with something that I'm personally quite pleased with. Probably will never go into the public domain. It's quite a difficult watch. I will share an unlisted link below. See, this is a work in progress. I spent a couple of hours on it really. For those, the three of you that might be curious, like what is this? But don't use headphones because it's not balanced out or anything. That's what I mean. It's experiment. It's experimenting. And I feel like that's what studio time needs to be for as well. Studio time isn't just about producing. When I'm in here, most of the time I am in production mode, and I am trying to create stuff that's going to go out into the world. It's really important to remember to play around, to experiment, to tinker with things. Things that you think, this is not to go into the world. This is just for me. This is just following a whim, following a train of thought. These things are very important, I feel like, in one's creative practice, in creative life, to allow yourself that room to just, experiment and push your own personal boundaries a little bit. Find out where your limits are with certain tastes and certain ideas. So that's something I wanted to share with you as I look at this footage of Orford Ness with this kind of strange, crackly, tonal, discordant sound underneath it. That is, it's a new thing for me, and it's something that I will just put on here and watch in the study to remind myself to embrace the pleasure and the joy of experimentation. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the next page.